welcome. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself.
My name is Jake. I stream and also I play games fast.
How long have you
What's
been
up?
speedrunning?
I've been speedrunning, well, it's kind of complicated, I'll be honest.
When did
First got-
you start watching speedruns?
2012-ish, 2012, 2013. I was like 11 years old. And I was super big into the glitches in Ocarina of Time. And I would watch, I think I watched the first ever GDQ or something. And then I watched some random TP race. And I remember very little about it, but I remember watching it, and that was my first experience seeing a speedrun. Was someone using ball and chain and lake bed. No idea why. I don't know. 2013 was a different time. But yeah, then in like 2015-ish, I got back. I like took a break because I was 11 years old or whatever, and God fucking knows. I think it was like 11, yeah, in like 2012. And then in like 2015, I got back into Ocarina of Time, and I did 100% runs. I vaguely knew the route, and I think I even got like a 5:10 or something. It wasn't even a bad time, like for that time. And unofficial, I never recorded it or anything. I just did it for fun because that's how speedrunning starts, is you do it for fun, and then eventually it turns into the worst habit of your life. So. And then 2017, I got into Wind Waker HD, and I stuck with that for like 2 years, and then shit hit the fan, and then I played MM.
So one of the questions that I put together, I have like a couple bullet questions that I have specifically for you, because you just like jumped. You just said you went from Wind Waker to Majora's Mask, and I know for a fact because I followed you after you, like the end of your Wind Waker era is when I became aware of who Jake is. JakeZSR. And I think I remember 7 other games or so between
something like that. Yeah.
You were the guy that people would come into my chat and be like, "Hey, what do you know what game Jake's running next week?" And like I'd fail a trick, and they'd be like, "Wow, you're almost as inconsistent as Jake," and I'm just like, "Wow, okay." Damn.
Yeah, that was a meme that happened for a while.
You were just playing every game you could find, just like reach into a big bag and be like, "Oh shit, I know this run. I learned it 4 years ago. Let's drop it in."
The best thing. That's the best thing is I could boot up SMO, I could boot up TP, I could boot up Skyward Sword, I could boot up Ocarina of Time, I could boot up SM64, and I could do a run of all of them all the way through without looking at notes or anything.
So my question was, what draws you to, like, you're at Majora's Mask now and you spent the most time at Wind Waker? Like, what is it about these games that draw you to them or away from them? Like, which games were you like, damn, this is for me for 5 minutes, and then you'd be like, this game sucks? It's like, what were you looking for? Like, what was it?
My top 3 games streamed period is Wind Waker HD, Majora's Mask is already number 2, and Mario Odyssey. So there is nothing similar about those 3 games, like at all. I don't know what makes a game stick with me, but I think it has to do with the community mostly, because for Wind Waker, I got really big into Wind Waker because it was a very underdeveloped community, and I could do a lot for the community while at the same time, like, you know, speedrunning and doing stuff with the game. And SMO wasn't like that at all, but MM is a lot like Wind Waker. So I think I liked SMO because the movement in that game is sick. It was just fun to play.
It was pretty good. And then, you know, it has that like new game factor. At least it did.
Yeah.
I think you were running
I ran it like 2 years after it came out.
Really? I thought whatever. I remember when that game first came out, and there was like the Clint doing like the foot races shit. I was watching that, and I was like, oh, this movement's kind of fun. It's cool that we're getting world records by a minute every other day. Haha, so fun. And then now it's like super optimized and no one plays the game.
Well, I'm Tendo. He was a Wind Waker HD runner. He went to SMO when it came out. He got world record, and that dude blew up. Like, I think he has since, he doesn't really stream anymore. He goes to college or something, but he got the SMO world record, and that's what got me into SMO was I'm Tendo, because I was friends with him and watched him do that run. I was like, that's sick. So I just didn't run it for 2 years after that. So.
It's a cool game. I've still never even attempted a speedrun. I've never even tried. I don't know why.
It's not bad. I learned the entire route in a day.
Alright. So what is it about MM that you're just like, dang, this is it. This is for me. I'm loving this game.
I don't know. I don't know why this game is like crack cocaine for me, but it's just so satisfying to like sit down, learn a trick, or have, you know, like Pope or like Imbued or any of the god MM people teach me how to do something and then be able to get it in runs. It's just that MM is so fucking hard. It's such a hard game, and it's so satisfying to like see your time go down in it, because it is hell. It is RNG as fuck, and it is incredibly difficult to run. And I think the combination of both of that makes it so satisfying to finish runs.
I feel like Majora's Mask is like the opposite of Twilight Princess in some ways. I feel like
Oh yeah.
TP is easy to learn, but insanely hard to get really good at, and MM is just hard. Like if you sit down and go, oh, I want to complete an MM run, it's like, good luck.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, we have categories now that aren't too bad. Like I think AD/SRM is like super free if you can like get a basic understanding of SRM, but it's hard. Like the main categories are really hard. It's hard to get into.
Yeah. And then SRM is, as an MM runner, I've heard that it's done great things for that game.
It has.
I talked
everything else.
Nale in the last video about how, you know, Ocarina of Time kind of got split, and I feel like it split MM, but like it brought it so much new attention that it was okay. I feel like the biggest issue is that the debug menu had a bunch of garbage, just like with, you know, it got banned, and there was, you know, the shadow government or whatever, that whole...
Yeah, that was interesting. I was not in the community for that, but I always get like shit back on me for that. Like I remember being in Axel's chat and seeing like Volv talking about that whole thing, and I was like, hey, that was not me. I had no input there. Although I will be honest, I think the blanket ban over debug menu and like FPM was really good, because Hundo would suck if those things were allowed. So.
It's almost like they did it for a reason. Moving on from the shadow government of Majora's Mask. What is it about speedrunning that you just like this is my jam? Because I know you've played Melee. We're apparently both Sheik players now.
Yeah.
I also know that someone's gonna yell at me because I shit on Melee a lot. I hate that game, but I'm also
I played competitive Counter-Strike when I was like 14. I was really big into like CS Source and CS:GO when that came out, which for whatever reason I played Counter-Strike Source till like 2015. I don't know why, but it had a decent competitive scene back then because CS:GO was so new, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people just didn't want to move over. Same with like Warcraft 3, Dota, and Dota 2. Like Warcraft 3 still had a lot of people until like 2012, 2013.
Yeah, but and then I love the competitive nature of CS:GO. I still think CS:GO is a great game, and I think Valorant's also in the same ballpark of being a good competitive game. I played a lot of Face It, like tournaments and stuff back when I was younger. I was super big on that. But the main thing that I hated about competitive Counter-Strike is that you have so much dependence on your teammates, and I hate the feeling of playing really well and losing because your team sucks ass, or losing out of something not necessarily out of your control, but something that's someone else's fault. Speedrunning, I have nothing to blame but myself or, you know, RNG or
I was gonna
something.
say, so you replaced idiots with Dampe.
Yes. Pretty much. It's something that I can compete like with myself and with other people as well. Like I really like the competitive nature of speedrunning. I think it's really cool, and it's super unique from anything else. You're not going to see anything like it outside of speedrunning. Melee, I think, is also why I like Melee so much, is because again, it's just you against someone else, and speedrunning is more you against like the game. So
I feel like I need to like specify that I don't actually hate Majora's Mask. I feel like I've shit on it quite a bit. I'm just salty that he's not running Twilight Princess.
Hey man, TV is just not my thing. TV doesn't hate me at every turn. I just can't.
I just thought it was so funny that I picked up TP while you were running it, and I was like, "Oh man, we're gonna run TP together," and you were like, "No, I'm out." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm never playing this game again." And then you went on hiatus, and you were gone off the face of the earth. Then you came back, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm an MM runner now."
Yep.
This is my actually, you came back and ran TP, no save and quit for a day, and then said MM is my new best friend. And
yeah,
I didn't think you'd be running it very long. You've been running it for a couple months now, I think.
yeah. I can't see myself like dropping it for a while. It's weird. I've never felt like that except like old Wind Waker. It's really weird, and I don't know why it's stuck.
It's just an addiction.
It is. It's bad.
Please help me. Please.
I feel like now would be a good time to go into the amount of time I put into like streaming and speedrunning. So I did not go into streaming wanting to do full time. I have a job. I work at a restaurant. I work part-time 25 hours a week. I'm also a full-time student with 2 fast track classes. So for those who don't know, it's like that might be an NA thing. It's basically a 16-week course in 8 weeks. So it's like double the work essentially. So full-time student, part-time job, I streamed 46 hours last week. So do the math of how many hours I had left over and take half of that and dedicate it to MM practice. It's bad.
Yeah, so I said earlier I had questions from your community as well, right? We're gonna move on to that.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
Do you want the shittiest one first or the shittiest one last?
Shittiest one last. I told them, I said, please be tame. This is like... And I know they didn't listen to me. I know those little shitters. I know who you are when you're watching this right now. And fuck you.
Are you gonna name any names?
Bread. I'll name Bread. Thank you, Bread. I know I haven't heard your question yet, but I know it's bad. So
no, I don't remember. Well, I might have ignored Breads. I know I didn't take all of them. Okay. I think the worst one. I don't know which one's worse between these two. One of them's from Anonymous, and one's from Half Jace. So,
oh no.
So we'll save those two for the last. The first question from Anonymous. How long do you see yourself speedrunning on Twitch? And in general, do you consider yourself to be good at gaming?
That's a double question. That's cheating. But on Twitch, man, I don't know. I don't see myself quitting anytime soon. That's the weird thing. Is it's like I'm in a part of my life where I don't know what I'm doing. Like I know my major and I know what career path-ish I want to go into, but I have no idea where I'm going in life. And streaming has been something super consistent. Streaming, I've streamed through like some of the lowest points, I think, in my life, and it's helped a lot. And it's almost like that one like anchor to my own life, that it's something I can always go back to. That's always going to be there. So I can always hit go live on Twitch and have, you know, my friends and sometimes not my friends come shit on me in chat.
And I'm definitely nice. A chat shitter on her.
Hey, I love the chat shit honors. I encourage it. I think it's really funny. But yeah, I don't see myself. I couldn't give you an estimate. I mean, who knows? It's so variable right now.
So Facebook Gaming hits you up the contract.
Hell no.
All right.
Facebook
cool.
Gaming.
No. The next question, so same guy, do you consider yourself to be good at gaming? The G in gaming is capitalized, by the way. I felt like that was important to specify.
I not to be an asshole, but I think you can relate to me. I am not like those runners who can pick up a game and get good at it. It takes me a long ass time. I'm slow as fuck. This is not related to you. I'm really slow. I have terrible memory issues. Like,
no, this is me.
Okay. And I do dumb shit all the time. So it makes learning a run, or not learning a run, but doing a run and getting good at it very hard. I think I'm good at shooters. That's something that I've always had. Yeah, so to put on again, I'm good at shooters, right? Let's put that on the left side. I'm incredibly mediocre at speedrunning to the absolute best. I'm trying to get better. I think I just haven't dedicated myself enough to something, to like a run, in order to get like to a really good level yet. And I think I'm starting to get close to that in MM. I'm starting to feel myself like actually like play really well. And like I'll have segments where I'm like, holy shit, like that was kind of good, you know? And then MOBAs. I have never been worse at a category of game than fucking League of Legends. And never have I been more addicted to a game either. I am terrible at League. League requires so much like brain thinking that I can't do it. Like
there's so much going on in that game.
Yeah, but it's
I think
really
that's
fun.
why it's addictive. It's because there's just constantly you're just being overflowed with just I want to say dopamine, but I don't think that's the word. There's just things in your brain are firing at all times, and you hate all of it, but just you're still there.
If you ever want to make me feel like I'm an absolute like loser and have no idea what I'm doing with anything, put me in a chair and put League of Legends in front of me.
For the record, I do feel you. It took me a very long time to get okay at Twilight Princess, and you know, there was a couple people who picked it up who were like almost matching me in like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it was just, there was like I had like an existential crisis when I was a full-time streamer of Twilight Princess. Yes. And this fucking guy picks up the game, he runs it for 2 months, and he's already like competing with me, and I've been playing for like 9 months, 40 hours a week, and I'm just like, how the fuck can you be this much better than me?
I am super like competitive. Like I never let it out. It's something that's always internal. But I mean, like the other runners this game, Axel, Ragan, seeing them get like a good time stresses me out so much. Like I'll look, every time I'm watching an MM runner, it's so bad. It's such a terrible habit. I cannot watch MM Hundo anymore because I will have my splits open next to the stream and I'll be following along. I'll be like, how much time do they save over me on that split? How much time they save me on this split? And it's like, it's bad. It's very bad for my mental.
I do the same. I have an Excel document of my runs compared to like the top runs, so that I have like the formulas and everything, so that I can see like the segment time and it compared to my. Well,
that's not bad because you know like what you need to work on to get like a better time. For me, it's like I'm scared of what people are doing better than me who haven't been running that long.
What's it like knowing you may not finish a run or lose to a crash every run? Like the possibility you could be pogging and then your run is just dead. This
happens to me a lot. And this is something that I think a lot of people who run RNG heavy games, this MM is not as RNG heavy as you might think. It is really RNG heavy. But I think that people who run heavy RNG games can relate. And it's of the fact that you have to respect the fact that runs are going to die and it's out of your hands. Like, I could have some dumb shit happen on Zora wrong where I crash for no reason. For like, I would have like a heap fail for no reason. And I can't sit there and be like, shit, that's my fault. Because like, you know, I could do that 100 more times and never fail it again. It's like, you have to put the respect in the name of the game and the fact that it's going to fuck you over at some point and you just have to live with that. And it sucks with longer categories, but it's one of the things where it's like it was bound to happen eventually. So you just gotta accept it and you gotta stay on it. You can't let it affect you too much, otherwise you're gonna give up. So
yeah, exactly. I remember back in the day, I'd be watching people speedrun Oot Hundo and MM Hundo, and they'd like have runs die to RNG, and they get so mad. I'm just like, dude.
Yeah, I can't relate.
Before you hit the go button, you knew this guy existed. You knew Dampe was in the middle of the run. You knew the world record for Dampe is 108 or something. And you hit go, and then you got a 50 Dampe, and it's just like, it's not even halfway to the... Calm down. Like... I
think like Minecraft RSG runners, that's a huge thing right now, by the way. I think they can relate to that a lot. It's like they start a game, there is a 99% chance that run resets. And it's not that they're going to get tilted over it, for the most part. Some of them do, you know. But you have to put the respect in the name of, you know, random-ass run killers.
You have to understand that that's just part of it. And if you don't, then maybe it's not for you, and that sucks.
And the thing is, I'm kind of weird in the fact that I like RNG somewhat, because it makes optimizing a run super hard. And so it makes almost every run different. In of the sense that I could have an amazing run, get second try dogs, and I could still PB again by playing well and getting lucky. So you're always gonna have a run.
Yep. And then there's always that like thought of like you want to be like, oh, I lost a minute on dogs. I would have PB'd if it wasn't for that minute. And it's just like, well, there was 30 seconds here where I played bad. There was 40 seconds here where I played bad. 5 seconds on these 12 splits. It's just like you didn't need the minute, but it would have been nice. But you didn't need it.
Yeah, as much as I meme about RNG, 90% of the time, if I played better, I would have PB'd anyways. So, yeah. I think that's how it is, even at top level. Like, NOP has, what, 417? And a good run would be a 415. So you could get second try dogs and still beat NOP if you played exactly like him, or better than him.
And I'm pretty sure Zach's run had bad dogs, bad Dampe, bad, like, everything RNG.
A better overall than NOP. Yep. That's just the name of the game, though. If you are not willing to accept that fact, don't run the game.
You said you watched episodes in the past. So you're
Yes.
aware of the lightning round, where I actually
Yes.
ask you date-like questions, because this is
Yes.
technically supposed to be a date. Are you a morning person or a night person?
Night person. I've never been awake in the morning.
What would be your perfect date?
Majora's Mask 100%. 8 p.m. Low, dim room, black and white room, no colors.
What is your biggest fear?
Oh, this one's hard. God, rising water, 100%.
What is one thing on your bucket list?
Not to get in rising water.
What is the grossest thing you've ever eaten?
When I was like 4, I ate dog shit one time, so probably that.
If you could visit any place in the world, where would it be and why?
Canada. Quebec, I just want to see how stupid they are over there.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, this one's hard. Dude, I've been training for this. God, I don't know like pop songs. Dynamite by Tao Cruz.
Who would you choose to play you in a movie about your life?
Tommy Wiseau.
What is your favorite guilty pleasure?
Majora's Mask 100%.
What's your favorite way of spending your time that isn't gaming or streaming?
Thinking about gaming or streaming, probably.
God damn it, Jake.
Or sleeping.
There we go, sleeping. We did
Yeah.
it. That was technically the last question. Thank you. Thank you for being on the show, Jake. It was wonderful to have you here. We talked for way too long. I probably could have asked a billion questions because you've had such a rich and interesting fucking history on this website. Everyone should go follow Jake on his Twitch, on his Twitter.
My Twitter is at JakeZSR. Only the best tweets, by the way. I'm
Do you
sure
have a
Ike has me
YouTube?
muted.
No, I don't
do
have
a
you
YouTube.
muted.
Dude, I'm surprised.
I don't have anyone. Actually, I have a couple speedrunners muted who only tweet anime like titties.
Same.
And I am somehow on that list now, but we're gonna move past that.
Yeah.
I only
I do have
tweeted it
you-
like twice, but they're just still there.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah, I do have a YouTube. I don't really upload. I'm trying to get back into like stream highlight stuff, but I've been so focused on like Twitch stuff that I haven't really had time to focus on that kind of stuff because there's like new stuff I want to do. I'm working on a lot of like MM guides and stuff. By the way, if you're interested in Majora's Mask, don't know anything about it, EMM Discord. I'm pretty much like the fucking like resource god of 100% now. So if you're ever interested in learning that game in that category,
yeah, that guy.
so,
Check him out.
yeah.
Do you have anything coming up, or is it just check out Jake? He's got MM Hundo. He's got MM Hundo for miles. That's Jake. Jake, the MM
Yeah.
Hundo guy. All right.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank you.
for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming. This is fun. It's good
There's
talking
been a
to you.
meme in my stream about Jake for speed dates. So
Wait, like
Nice.
from before this? Like before
Yes.
you were?
yes.
Wow. Nice.
Mhm.
I'm known. We're making we're finally big. I actually
at you.
stole the Wind Waker Albert's like copy pasta about how you've grown and that you ignore him now. I stole that copy pasta. And now he comes into my
I love that
chat
pasta.
every he comes in there like once a day to post that and then leaves. I love it. I love Mr. Alberto so much.
I don't know why my stream spawns so many like pastas like that. Like there's a pasta about me being a Republican Twitch streamer. I don't know why that's going around, but
Probably because you live in Florida.
probably, yeah.
Sorry for doxing you. I'm gonna stop recording now. Thank you
No.
for watching. Salute. Jake's 7.
Yes, sir.
Peace.